here, I have chicken. And, well, this is a long neck, man. E.T. This is going to be a personal one. Wow. It's a small bird, too. Oh. Okay, so you're going to rinse. Okay. Then you're going to go into, rinse the cavity out. Then you'll notice the breasts up here. And then this is the spine right here. The tail feathers are right there. You're going to go in, you're going to take your index finger and your middle finger, you're going to scrape out the kidneys like this. Pop them out. Oh, they come out real easy. There you go, kidneys. Kidney punch. Scrape them out. Why? Well, yes and no. What are you going to do with the bones? What are we going to do with the bones? Make a stock. And if there's kidneys in there, it can cloud your stock and make it bitter. It's a filter organ, so we don't really want to do that. So you want to scrape them out. Okay? Then, bring your bird back. After you scrape out the kidneys, you're going to bring your bird back to your cage. Make sure you have a wet towel underneath your cutting board. Okay? Then, you're going to dry your bird off. It's like when you get up in the shower in the morning, if it's wet on the floor, you can slip, right? So you want to dry the bird off. You don't want it sliding around your cutting board. Okay, then, that is a long neck. Wow. Okay, then you're going to use a boning knife. Okay. Next thing you're going to do is orient yourself. So step 1 is rinse and remove kidneys. Step 2 is dry. Step 3 is orient. So how do you know what is what? Well, you can stand the bird up and it'll become really real now. Like you can imagine the head right here, chicken. That is a long neck. What are you looking at? Okay, so this helps you kind of, because you may not see chickens like this. You may only buy breast meat or only buy this, but now you can kind of see this was probably alive less than a week ago, running around the farm. Okay, so now you want the breast side, which you can tell is up here. You want the breast side up and the legs towards you. And what we're going to do is right here between the femur and the thigh, we're going to make a safety cut here and here. We're going to hyperextend the femur so that it sits flat. You just pop the femur out of the socket, really easy, and then this way it doesn't roll around, okay? While you're back here, you're going to remove the excess fat in the back. You don't want that, so that's going to be waste. You could render that down and make schmaltz, which is delicious. And you can use the schmaltz in like making dumplings for chicken dumpling soup or something like that. Matzo ball is really good. And then also back here is this little part here is where the tail feathers come out, right? Tail feathers, the female secretes a pheromone oil into the out of the gland right here into the tail feathers, and then she shakes her tail feathers and it attracts the rooster, right? That's the whole point. So we want to know that because we don't want to add that in our stock, right? It's going to add a bitter element, so we want to remove that. Gone. Waste, okay? Now we're going to flip it 180 degrees, and we're going to remove the wing tips, which are right up here. And these are all, this is a ball and socket joint, this is a ball and socket joint, this is a ball and socket joint, this is a ball and socket joint. So ball, socket, just like ours, okay? So what you want to do is make an incision there, expose the ball and socket joint, and then cut right through it. So first is kind of find out where it is, okay? Then make a cut right by there, hyperextend, and you can see the ball and the socket right there, and then you want to cut right through it. Okay, that's the wing tip. Wing tips are fantastic for stock. There's a lot of collagen in there, and they add a lot of body to stock, so they're fantastic. So save that. Then we're going to move down. We're going to remove the wing portion. If you ever go out and eat wings, it's like my favorite thing to do. Okay, so you're gonna remove that next. You're gonna make an incision, hyperextend. You'll see the ball and the socket. That's actually a really good picture right there of the ball and socket joint. You can see the separation right in the middle. So you want to cut right there. Okay, make a cut. Hyperextend, ball and socket. Cut right through. Save the wings. Those are some little wings. Skimpy. If I gotta be like, no. Okay, next. This is a really little bird. I took a little. This neck is just bothering me. I gotta cut the neck off. This is freaking me out. Sorry. Moving on to my arm. I can go in stock. Okay, now from here we have the drumstick, the thigh, the breast, and the drumette. Okay? Your goal is to remove the drumette with the breast. So you do not want to have that separate. You also want to keep the skin on the breast. So we're doing skin on, drumette on. It's called an airline breast or a Statler breast. The next stage is going to be to remove the wishbone. And this is our clavicle. Same thing as our clavicle. So you have the manubrium right up front, which is right here on us. Manubrium. It's actually pretty hard bone right here. And then down here, sitting in there like this, there's two little bones that go down. It's a wishbone. You can feel it right here. Go ahead, feel it. Yep. Okay. So you'll feel that. You can see the wishbone just runs down on both sides. You're going to make an incision on the outside of the wishbone on both sides. Then you're going to take your index finger and your thumb. You're going to go in those holes and go all the way up to the top. You're going to break the wishbone off the top, and you're going to pull it down like you're in Vegas. Jackpot, and it'll come right up. Okay, there's your wishbone. That can go right in the stock. The reason why we remove that is there's meat underneath there that if you didn't remove that, you'd lose some of your yield. You'd lose some money on that. Okay, next we're going to remove the breasts. Follow the keel bone and cut on one side of it, just on one side. Shallow cuts. You're going to follow the keel bone all the way back. And then you're just going to follow this down, take all the meat off. I'm just using the 1 inch at the tip. Okay? And I'm just following it down. You'll see the ribs here. These are the ribs. Just scrape it off. Make sure your drumette is up front with your breast. Okay, and then you'll see this big bone right here. You want to follow that down until you get to the joint. And you'll see it goes, that's the joint right there. That's the end of that bone. That's where you want to cut. And you're going to cut into the bird. So that is now a Statler breast. You can trim the skin off if you need to. Okay, so Statler breast. You can remove the tender. That's they call it the chicken tender, chicken fingers. I have no idea why they call them chicken fingers. It's nowhere near the finger. But that's a chicken finger. So if you work at, what's the restaurant that serves those? Cane's. Did you say Chuck E. Cheese? Chuck E. Cheese. Man, that is old school. Are they still around?
Yeah.
Chuck E. Cheese. Do you guys know Organ Grinder? Or not Organ Grinder, Organ Stop? The owner is coming. The founder is going to come speak in our class. He's an HRM brand. Okay, so there's one breast. Okay, then you're going to do the same thing on the other side. You're going to see this bone here. You want to cut just on this side of the bone. The goal is to get as much meat into the guest's mouth as possible. Here, what a lot of people do is they'll leave a lot of this meat on. So you want to cut here and make sure you include all of this meat with the other breast. Okay, here again, make sure your drumette is out. Move the chicken around as you need to. Follow this bone just like the other side. Follow it all the way down to the joint. There it is. So now I'm going to make sure my drum mat is with me and then cut through. So there's my Statler breast again. Trim off a little bit extra skin here. Okay, and then you can make a little, you know, if you're feeling romantic, you can make it a little harder. Okay, then you're going to flip it over. And here we're going to do some high level processing, because why not? You can see a little muscle right here. It's raised, and a little muscle right, kind of looks like a mosquito bite, not the air bubble. But here, you see those? That's the oyster muscle. That's like a secret in the kitchen. And whenever, like on Sundays, I usually do a clay pot chicken. And I'll do something like, I'll go to Morocco, I'll go somewhere in Turkey, or do some different food. But what you want to do is cut right in front of the oyster muscle. And then what I do is, I eat these. I don't even tell my kids about these yet. They're so good. So here's one, it's like the best part of the chicken. So you want to remove this with the thigh. Are you okay over there? Come here, come over here. I'm going to remove you from your danger zone. Come on over, I'll wait for you. It's not going to bite you. Come on, you can do it. Didn't you kill a lobster? I think she did, didn't she?
Yeah.
The video on my blog.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure you did.
I didn't kill it though.
You had to go through and just add it.
I just
You just tortured. Okay, well, just take it. I don't want you out of trouble. All right, so now what you're going to do is you're going to grab the handle, lift up so you can kind of flex that muscle a little bit. You want to cut right in front of it. Okay, just make a little cut like that. Then you're going to take your thumb and you're going to scoop out the oyster muscle out of the pocket. The pocket's kind of like a little spoon made out of bone. I'll show you what I mean. See that? So that looks like a spoon. It's got like a cup. Well, this muscle sits right in there. That's the oyster muscle right here. And it sits right inside there. You want to get that out. Don't throw that out. And then you can just knead this. So that's the leg thigh quarter with the oyster muscle attached. And then these are symmetrical, just like us. So you go on the other side, cut right there, scoop out the oyster muscle, find the lip of the bone, get your thumb in there, scoop it out. There's the oyster muscle. It was sitting in that pocket. And then just cut it out. So all you have left is this for carcass. That goes into stock. Okay. Last step now is to separate the thigh from the drumstick. Super easy to do. You can do it blindfolded. You see this line of fat right here? It runs down. You want to blindfold me? Okay, go ahead. Go.
Yeah.
I did it? Hey, pretty good, huh? Oh. So, boy, he's just a little guy, huh? Probably didn't even live a few weeks. It'd be tasty though. Okay, so then you have thigh and drumstick. Again, now, so what you want to do is see the drumstick and the thigh with the oyster muscle attached. Then you want to find this fat line right here. It's on all of them. You want to cut just on the drumstick side of that fat line. So you find it, you cut just on, and every time you'll go right through it. Okay, so that's how you separate thigh from drumstick. Okay, so there's drumstick, and I keep the skin on everything. Okay, when you're done, you'll have this. You'll have 2 thighs, 2 drumsticks, 2 breasts, a chicken tender, 2 wings, fat, and carcass. That'll be what's left when you break it down. Okay? Easy. Totally easy. You can do this blindfold. And then when you're done, okay, so make sure you hear this, because they'll be like, where do I put the wing tips? Like, so listen, this is where we go. The breast you're going to put right here. You're going to ask me, all right?
I'm going to put it right there.
you're gonna put the leg and thigh right here. Okay? You're gonna put the breasts right here. Like this. And you're gonna put this here. Line them up. Nice. The thighs over here. Line them up. Make them nice. Right? Wingtips. Or wings going there.
Yeah.
These you're gonna put, I'll have a bag out for these. This is gonna go in the garbage, and then the wingtips, and if you have a really long neck, and the carcass, and the wishbone, all that's gonna go in here. That's the only waste you should have. Okay?
Is it just one chicken tender per chicken?
No. Two. Thank you. I need that. Okay? Everybody got it?